How's it going, everyone? Does the pull cord on your snowblower look like this after starting it? If so, we're going to take a look at a couple of possible reasons why this might be and see if we can fix it. So how's everyone doing? Thanks again for joining me in the garage with today's project is this Toro CCR 3650 single stage snowblower. Before we get started with the video, if you're a subscriber to my channel, thanks for stopping by once again for another video. If you're not a subscriber and you like information about small engines, this is a small engine repair channel, and I do put out videos usually once a week. With various content from snowblowers, lawnmowers, weed whackers, rototillers, anything with a small engine. So if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below and the bell icon, and that way you're notified each and every week I put out a new video. So once again, today's project is going to be dealing with a starter rope that actually doesn't recoil all the way, and in fact it's actually having some issues engaging the starter cup. There it goes there, but you can see it's actually pulling and it's not grabbing anything. So we're gonna see, and now it's retracting, but we're gonna see if we can figure out what's going on with this guy. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is take this chute off, and I'm going to use a Phillips screwdriver to hold the end of the bolt on the inside, and then zip off this 1/2 inch nut for all three of these guys. So guys, get yourself a bowl or something to collect all your nuts and bolts. There's going to be quite a few. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is take off these two bolts here. So for these ones, guys, 7/16 nuts. Okay, so we're going to move over here to the front side. So on this front side we got 1, 2, 3, 5/16. I'm going to take my key out as well. Alright, so just pull up the pull cable, or the pull rope I should say. You can kind of take this off and sort of move it out of place for now. On this side over here, yours might have an actual screw in here as well. Mine did not actually have that screw. So now you just have to take your fuel cap off for now. And that gets your top plastics off. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get this fuel tank up and out of the way first. And to do that, there's a couple of nut bolts with nuts on the back end here. One there, and also one right in here. It's hard to see. It's not much light. That one actually holds this cable for the electric start as well. Alright guys, so I got a stubby 7/16 wrench and a 7/16 socket. Put the wrench on the back side there. And once again guys, the other one that we're looking at is this guy right here. Alright, so now it's just kind of sitting on a little post here. We should be able to kind of move it up and out of the way and maneuver it that way. Alright, next thing we're going to do is take off this nut here, 7/16. There is also a washer on there as well. And then there are two more bolts down here, nuts and bolts, for this particular bracket right here. Alright, so most of you think now that we're in here, the last thing we gotta do is just take off these four nuts for the starter recoil, but unfortunately that is not the case. If you can see here, I don't know if you can see it, it just turns, it's just spinning, because the bolt that comes in from the back side of this housing is not welded. It's just a bolt. So unfortunately you have to take this whole shroud off. To get the shroud off, you got two bolts up here at the top. Then, see if I can get you in here. There is one bolt right here. There is one bolt way down here and underneath here. Alright, so I'll start with these guys up top here. These are 1/2 inch. This one back here does have a ground wire attached to it, it looks like. So this one down here, guys, is actually a 7/16. Okay. This last one looks like it is accessible, actually. It's right here, this guy. It holds on the other bracket for the starter. So that also looks like 7/16. Okay, so now this is off. This should all just slide right off now. So here's these bolts, like I said, on the back side here, guys, that are just spinning when we try and take these nuts off. Would have been nice if they just tack welded those on or something like that, so we wouldn't have to take this whole assembly right off. But it is what it is. Alright guys, so now I got this off. I've let out the slip knot here in the handle just to give me some slack to play with. And what I'm doing right now is just kind of testing this. As you can see here, I'm pulling this out, and the one thing that doesn't seem to be happening as it should is these dogs right here should be flinging out. They should be flinging out as I pull this, and that's not happening. So one of the possibilities of that, for that not happening, is that there's a spring in here that helps fling those out. So what I'm going to do is take some lubrication and spray it right there where the dogs are on both sides. And I'm going to work that in. And as you can see, hopefully, already, That's working way better. So that would be part of our problem. That's when you pull the handle, if it's not grabbing as you're pulling it to engage the starter cup down here, it's probably because these dogs are not coming out. So just usually lubricating those will actually help out. The other thing we're going to do for the recoil part of it is that there is a spring underneath this whole assembly. There's a recoil spring. And on this particular model, hopefully you're going to be able to see this. Try and get it to a point where you can see it. So right in this particular area where I'm shining my light, right in here, you'll see the end of that spring. Might be hard to see, but hopefully you can see that. There's the end of that spring right in there. So what you can do is just shoot some of your lubrication right in there where that spring is. Okay, so spray that in there, and then what I like to do is I like to pull it out all the way as far as it'll go, and then I just slowly work that in. And as I'm doing this, I'm letting in a little bit of rope at a time, so it kind of gets that lubrication all in where that spring is. Okay, and to me that seems like this is just gonna do the trick here. If you pull on the rope and it doesn't go back at all, in my case it was going back, it was just going back only part of the way. If it's not going back at all, there's a good chance that that spring inside there is broke. And just regular maintenance, really, I know it's a pain in the butt to get at this thing, but regular maintenance should dictate you should always try and lubricate that spring every so often, every couple of years, just to prevent that spring from breaking. Okay guys, so I'll get her all back together and then I'll give her a whirl once I get it all back together. Alright guys, so I got her all back together. I'm just going to show you one last time that the starter recoil works good now. So there you go. So hopefully it was informative and helped some people out. And if you liked it, please go ahead and smash the like button down below. And if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and then that way you'll be notified each and every week. So thanks for watching, and until the next time, take care.